It is going to sound insane because it is insane, Akshaya Kubiak told the 911 dispatcher. It was 10 a.m. on July 16, 2020, and Kubiak was calling from his Las Vegas condo. Near him lay the dead body of a woman. "We took mushrooms together, said our prayers together, put on Avatar together," said Kubiak. At 6'1" and 205 pounds, Kubiak was muscular and handsome. He was best known as the star of Showtime's reality show Gigolos, where he went by the name Ash Armand. "I don't know if you've ever done mushrooms before," he said to the dispatcher, "but I was no longer in this reality. I was in different realities, and then I saw the person next to me." The person next to him was Herleen Dulai, a 29-year-old Temple University graduate with shiny black hair, large brown eyes, and a sparkling smile. She was gorgeous. She modeled occasionally, but was known for being shy and reserved. That may have been what drew Kubiak to her. "He would go after the new models that seemed lost," said Leslie, a friend of Kubiak's. Dulai fit the bill. Fairly new to Las Vegas, she'd moved there in 2017 to pursue a post-baccalaureate degree after having obtained her bachelor's in biological sciences. While Leslie acknowledged that moving to Vegas sort of feels like playing Russian roulette a little, it seemed, at least in the beginning, that Dulai was avoiding the Vegas trap. A family friend of Dulai's named Amrita described it this way: "In Vegas, Herleen broke free." Akshaya Kubiak, aka Ash Armand photo. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Chuck Getty Images. Akshaya Kubiak, aka Ash Armand, raised in California by an aerospace engineer father and a mother with 2 master's degrees, both of whom had emigrated from India. Dulai was the youngest of 3 and her parents' favorite. They gave her the nickname Happy Herleen because she was always smiling. Although she was quiet around most people, Dulai was mischievous at home, always cracking jokes, and her emotions ran deep. She hid in a closet, crying, when her older sister Aman moved out to go to college. She wouldn't go to the zoo because she couldn't stand to see animals in cages. Dulai's strong emotions spoke to an underlying insecurity, though, according to Amrita. She was very beautiful, but she spent most of her life feeling out of place. Soon after moving to Vegas, Dulai did something seemingly designed to combat both her emotional and physical insecurities. She joined ACE Fitness, a gym which bills itself as a life-changing facility that promotes unity and self-development through fitness, and prides itself on its close-knit community. Dulai's time at the gym didn't have an easy start. During her first training session with ACE's owner, Nick Lewis, she was so nervous that when he left her alone for a few minutes, he came back to find her curled up in a ball, shaking in the corner of the room. "What's up?" Lewis asked. Dulai told him she had headache issues, a tumor in her head. She needed to be in the dark. Whether Dulai actually had cancer is unclear. In a video from 2019, she sat on a darkened stage at the gym and told a small audience of around a dozen people that she had been battling a brain tumor and had gone through chemo. Yet Amy Elliott, a friend Dulai met at the gym in 2018, said that Dulai had a thyroid tumor, not a brain tumor. But Lewis, who went to a doctor's appointment with her, said that it wasn't cancer at all. And according to her sister, Aman, Herleen never told her family about the tumor. Other friends of Dulai's didn't mention the cancer, but did tell me that, in addition to being intensely withdrawn around people she didn't know well, Dulai was battling depression. Whatever her health issues, and despite the rough beginning, the gym quickly became a haven for Dulai. Lewis helped her lose 40 pounds in 30 days, he said, and in the process, the two became close. She'd go to his house and hang out with his nieces and nephews, bringing them donuts. He went to some doctor's appointments with her. Dulai started a youth training program at the gym, in which Elliot's son enrolled. Eventually, she became a personal trainer, and the job agreed with her, opening her up and giving her more confidence. "Whether it's in a workout or in life, you've just got to keep pushing," Dulai said in another video she made in 2019. In this one, she's wearing black leggings and a half-zip grey top, a mountain looming in the background. "I'm trying to break out of my own shell. I have a fear of public speaking. But here I am in public, speaking." It was just a few months later that Dulai stopped working as a trainer for the gym. She was falling out of love with it and was depressed, said Lewis. According to Elliot, not long after that, In either May or June of 2020, Akshaya Kubiak slid into Dulai's Instagram DMs. Or perhaps, as a close friend of Kubiak's said, Dulai contacted him first. Either way, Kubiak was a tough guy to ignore. He was an imposing figure, a 38-year-old Fabio-esque hunk who looked like he'd walked off the cover of a romance novel thanks to his flowing hair, eight-pack abs and sculpted physique, steroid-enhanced according to friends. But still, he was distractingly handsome. Kubiak was so attractive, in fact, that women paid $800 to spend 2 hours with him, $3,000 for an overnight date, and $25,000 for a week. For at least 8 years prior to meeting Dulai, Kubiak had been working as a gigolo, starting when he was living in Miami with his then-partner and their son, and continuing over the years, including a short stint on Showtime's Gigolos. Though he had a girlfriend at the time, Kubiak's sex work was ongoing when he connected with Dulai. But was Dulai his client? Nearly everyone who spoke to me about this story had a different theory. Kubiak's ex-girlfriend, Lisa, who was living with him at the time, said Dulai was definitely his client. Lewis thinks so as well. When he and Elliot were cleaning out Dulai's house after her death, they found an envelope with amounts written on them. Ash, rent, $2,700, one read. Another was for $4,700. But Elliot thinks the money wasn't for sex. I know for a fact she wasn't looking for no damn gigolo, she told me, and speculated that Dulai was paying Kubiak's dog walker while he was out of town. A man said she was given full access to Herlene's bank account, and there was no record of Herlene having paid Ash from it. According to Elliot, Dulai rejected Kubiak when he first reached out to her, but he was persistent. Whether they were having a paid or unpaid relationship, or whether it shifted from one thing to another at some point, is unclear, but Kubiak's parents say the two were communicating daily. In a matter of weeks, their relationship had gone from casual DMs to something far more intimate and intense. Intensity was a quality Kubiak brought to everything he did. Raised by bohemian parents in both Maine and Japan, he and his 2 siblings were brought up in a spiritual tradition focusing on Tantra. From when he was a little boy, Akshaya grew up immersed in the healing traditions and philosophies of the East and West, wrote his mother in a letter on Kubiak's behalf to the court. Both his Asian Indian mother and Polish-American father were teachers, and they exposed Kubiak to an international crowd of scientists, poets and intellectuals, artists and academics of every stripe, when he was a kid, according to his mom. Although his parents imply his childhood was happy, on an episode of Gigolos, Kubiak describes abuse. I was hit by my godfather and other people, and I was quite harshly physically punished. Kubiak's father confirmed that the abuse happened while Kubiak and his brother were training at a horse ranch in Kyoto, Japan, though told me in an email he and his wife were unaware that the embittered, dispossessed farmer had started drinking heavily and became quite violent with Akshaya while training him to become a useful regular at the ranch. Kubiak had not aspired to be a gigolo, and his path to Las Vegas was a circuitous one. At 16, he left school and took an apprenticeship to learn the ancient Chinese discipline of Qigong, which involves meditation, body work, and sometimes healing practices with herbs. He also studied Zen Shiatsu, a form of massage combined with philosophy. He worked as a model before moving back to Maine and getting his GED in 2000. While he was in his early 20s, he became a massage therapist, working in Costa Rica and Miami, and studying massage in Japan, Thailand, Europe, and India. He also trained a bit in martial arts like Muay Thai. During this time, Kubiak was involved in the psychedelic trance community, through which he and a few hundred other people would gather to drop mushrooms and sway to electronic trance music in the woods all night, said Mac, who organized many of the psytrance parties in New York and New Jersey that Kubiak attended. It's the underground of an underground movement, Mac said, rave's hipper, weirder cousin. One close friend from this time said Kubiak was a kind, loving, innocent, playful, beautiful, genuine kid. A picture of him from back then, during a psytrance event at the Pine Barrens, a heavily wooded, desolate area of New Jersey made infamous in an episode of The Sopranos, shows Kubiak mugging for the camera in a green tank top, mouth open, a wide smile on his face. It might have been that very smile and openness that caught the attention of Garen James, the founder of Cowboys 4 Angels, an escort service that provides men for women. It was 2012 at this point, and Kubiak had moved to Miami to start his own massage business, Akshaya Touch. "Looking forward to joining you on your healing journey," he wrote on the website, where he advertised a variety of massage techniques, including deep tissue, shiatsu, and Akshaya Touch. He also claimed to do in-call, out-call, which are coded terms for sex work. Whether he was working as a gigolo at first is unconfirmed, but James would prove to be Kubiak's entry point into reality TV. After Kubiak had a successful 6-month run working for Cowboys 4 Angels, James decided Kubiak should be on the reality show Gigolos, then in its second season on Showtime and filmed in Las Vegas. James served as a creative consultant for Gigolos and insisted producers hire Kubiak even after he botched his audition. James knew Kubiak needed the money. He had a family to feed, and he was barely eking out a living giving massages. Plus, James thought Kubiak would shine once he was actually on the show. His instincts were right. He was a good balance for the other characters. They made him out to be the Zen warrior. "You know, a peaceful guy," James said. Kubiak's friends say the portrayal was accurate. "Ash was a healer. He healed me of vertigo. That was his purpose," said Teresa, a close friend of Kubiak's. This was similar to his approach with his escort work, which he saw as a healing modality on the level of like Tantra because of his Eastern background, according to his Gigolos co-star Vin Armani. But reality TV stardom changed Kubiak. He was insecure about how the other guys were more muscular than he was, Armani said. Then he started doing steroids, and he just got massive. It was almost too much. Kubiak's body went from Jason Sudeikis to Jason Momoa. His ego swelled too. Once he got that attention from the public, it was filling a void where he felt like, "Now I'll be able to get my important message out to more people," Armani said, noting that Kubiak's drug use also grew more expansive in Vegas. Marijuana, cocaine, and MDMA are just everywhere. Ash had had a lot of experience, as I do, with all of those substances. In all of my interactions with him, I never saw him use anything to excess. Kubiak did not respond to requests for comment about his alleged drug use, nor to other requests for comments on this story. Instead of being focused on meditation and healing, Kubiak began partying on the Vegas Strip a lot with bottle birds, the hot Instagram models that hung around, Armani recalled. Among that type of woman, Ash was very popular. "He makes a great accessory, a great Ken to their Barbie." Kubiak stopped embodying something that I thought was unique and good, Armani said. A few months after the show ended in 2016, Armani invited Kubiak to a pool party. Kubiak brought along his then-girlfriend, Tucci Cash. At some point, Armani and Kubiak argued because Kubiak and Cash insisted on staging Instagram photo shoots, and Armani told them to stop. According to Armani, Kubiak then challenged him to a fight. There was no fight, but Kubiak left in a huff, and the friendship never was the same, even though they continued to work together on double dates. By the time Dulai met Kubiak, he was a man whose time as a reality TV star was years in the past, and who was still doing sex work, according to Lisa, Kubiak's girlfriend at the time of Dulai's death. According to James, Kubiak had also been fired from the Cowboys 4 Angels agency in 2019 because he didn't properly represent the brand anymore. After the show, instead of Kubiak being all about the client, it was more like, "It's all about me." And that didn't really vibe, James said. Kubiak was also broke, having apparently spent most of the money he'd earned from his time on Gigolos. He was living with his teenage son and Lisa in a split-level condo off Vegas's Strip. His son's mother lived on the East Coast. Even though Kubiak was not appearing on reality TV anymore, he was still profiting from it, even if not financially. Gigolos retained a devoted fan base, and a clip of it was even featured in the 2018 Charlize Theron film, Tully. Kubiak tried to leverage his D-list fame to create an erotica website with his Gigolos co-star Bradley. Called Lexotica, it never took off, though some of the videos are available on his YouTube channel. One video received 2.2 million views. Kubiak also appeared in an episode of Vice's Slutiver in 2018. But this wasn't enough for him. Kubiak had an addiction to attention, and attention is a drug, Armani said.